And we're back. Okay, so now the topic is, what is God? The last one was reality, and you can't have reality without some kind of godly figure that made everything. And what if there was no godly figure that made anything at all? What if we live inside of the figure itself? Like, what if we're just brain cells delivering a mass of information before we die? You know that term, you see your life flash before your eyes right before you die? Now look back at when you were 5, and now look back to now, and then realize you just watched your life flash right before your eyes. Right in that instant that you look back to 5 to now, every decision you've made has led to this point that you're at now. Every single decision has led to where you're at right now. And this is the amazing thing about life. It takes so many turn of events, so many different things can transpire, but you always end up right here. There is no past, there is no future, there is only a present. You can look towards the future, but the future can always be changed, and the past can never be changed. And so it's best just to leave the past behind where it belongs, and the future is no point in dwelling on it because it's going to change with every decision you make. You can never plan for a perfect future, and you can never perfectly plan for a future. All you can do is fucking do what I do, I guess. Fucking the best way is just blindly fucking running, hoping to God you don't smack a tree limb. But, it's worked out for me so far. I mean, I don't have a perfect life by any means. I have a very fucking hard life to live, but it's worth it. And I know it'll all be worth it come the end, because the end is really just the beginning for me. I know there's more to this than this. And this is really just a big giant test, I think. Not like, a godly test, but, really you gotta start looking at what God is, I always say I'm God, and I kind of say it half jokingly and half serious, because I understand exactly what God is, and a lot of people don't. People go to church, think he's this omnipotent being that has the capacity for forgiveness should you ask or pray, and that he will forgive all your sins, and, other than that, he doesn't do anything else except for, he's your personal little genie. That's not the case, okay? Back then also churches used to tell people that he'd smite you for everything you fucking did. But, God doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about anybody but himself. He's living his life. He's God. He does what he wants. He's the one who created everything. He's the admin, the moderator, the owner, the crown holder. He's God. He just does what the fuck he wants. And this is what people don't understand. If he wants to do drugs, he's going to do drugs because God is not perfect, but he doesn't care if he's not perfect because he's fucking God. If he wants to fucking murder somebody or be a serial killer, he will. If he wants to fucking incinerate armies with a fiery tornado, then he will. If he wants to send Moses down from the top of Mount Zion with horns on his head, then he fucking will, because that's what he does. Whatever he wants. And this is, I guess, what separates humanity from God, is that humanity spends a life doing usually what other people want them to do. We're slaves to our own systems. And so when I say I'm God, half jokingly and half serious, I say it because I've never been a slave. Nor will I be. I mean, I'll do anything anybody asks of me. And I'll do it usually free of charge, man, but that doesn't mean I'm a slave. I've never been a slave my entire life, dude. I've always had a free will. I've always had a mind of my own. And I've always made my own decisions. I've made good decisions and bad decisions, and I don't regret a single one of them, whether they were good or bad or not. I don't care. I don't regret my decisions, because there's no point. Why would I really regret my decisions? Would that make it any different? Would that make my life anything else if I just sat there regretting my shit all day? No. I'm where I'm at right now, and I can learn from them. I could choose to learn from all my mistakes, which I do. Or I could regret them and sit there and wallow in my self-pity. Or I can make a radio station and just... What, babe? What? Say that one more time? Hold on a second. My wife's half asleep and she's saying stuff. Oh. Yeah, I want you to stay. Oh. What do you mean? No, that's not what I said. You're tripping out. No, I was talking about God and what God is, honey.
Well, why did you say that?
I didn't. We can listen to the recording later. I'm live right now, though. So,
Hi.
yeah, she says hi. So let me get back to it. We'll listen to the recording later. Anyways, yeah, she was saying I said if I stay or some shit. I don't remember what the fuck I said. I was on a roll, man. Yeah, so what is God? You know, God could be a number of things, but in reality, I think what God is...
Stare?
No, babe.
Are you gonna stare?
No! You're interrupting me live, honey.
Grrr.
Anyways, I'm saying, what is God? I'm talking about what God is. I was just getting to the fucking climactic part and you had to blow it. Damn it, pinch your nipple. Anyways, what is God? So, I mean, God could be perceived as a million different things, but what he really is, you want to know? God is all of us. Every single one of us. We're all fragmented pieces of what God is. And once we all die, God will be complete. He'll be what he is, like, or it. Well, God is genderless. God has no gender. He's not male nor female. He is both. He is all. God is a pansexual, and no, that doesn't mean he has sex with pans. That means he fucks whatever he wants. That's why minotaurs and shit happen. Even though, you don't see them anymore, that's because people like Americans, kill things they don't understand and slaughter them like the pagans and, burn witches at stake. Because, people with magical powers are just fucking too much to deal with for a fucking Christian society that makes a habit of slaughtering everything. Once again, the Church of Satan isn't going around slaughtering people over their fucking book, okay? So, it really makes you step back and wonder, the next time you go to church on Sunday, and the thing I really want you to pay attention to is every time you've gone to church, isn't it amazing how much they talk shit about their own congregation? I'm not a Satanist by any means. I'm not a devil worshiper, but you know what? I'm saying fucking, you can't really call yourself a Christian until you can forgive the devil. If you can't forgive him, you can't forgive shit. And that's what the whole Bible is about, is God trying to forgive the devil. It's an epic tale of war between good and evil, and the reality is the devil is God, and God is the devil. It's his reflection. God's looking at himself in the mirror. He hates himself. And God is the culprit in the whole fucking book, and he just doesn't want anybody to know it, because he already knows it. He's every character in the book. He's both good and bad, sick and twisted, because the whole book is the most conceited work of art in existence, which is actually the closest thing to reality you could ever fathom, is that we're all one person. It doesn't matter if we're united or divided. I mean, in the end, we'll have no choice but to be united, because our souls naturally are kin to each other, and they come back to each other eventually. We have no choice. It's the one thing we don't get to choose. I mean, and that's just your birth in general. I mean, you never chose to be here on this planet. I don't think any of us chose that, and that's what I'm meaning. That's the one thing we don't get to choose, is, our existence. Because we're fragmented pieces of something much bigger. Whatever it was shattered, and it did it for a reason. So I'm not sure, but the simple fact is we are here, and we need to learn how to make it work. I mean, it doesn't really matter what God is, because God knows what God is, and he's taking care of him. He's not a personal genie. If you want a personal genie, you become a mage, or, a witch, and you create a servitor. Okay, and then you'll have your own personal genie and your own little voice that you get to talk to, and then you get to be called a schizophrenic for the rest of your life, even though you're actually a mage, a shaman, a medicine man, and frickin' that's just the stigmata that America has. Mental illness is just the absence of mental. It's illness, but it's not illness. You see, I mean, if you can define to me what exactly insanity is without saying, oh, insanity is doing the same thing over and over, and fucking expecting different results. I mean, if that's really what you want to go with, guess what? You're insane too. Every single one of you, every person in America that does the same shit every fucking day, expecting to make it big, expecting different results, they're more crazy than I am, because I do different shit every fucking day. Okay, so for you to sit there and say that I'm insane when you're the one who fucking just does the same routine over and over again, look at this and wonder who really is insane here. Okay, at least I think, and I have verbose thoughts, and very intricate and complex thought process, where most people that I meet on a daily basis thought process is, oh, Facebook, What did Jenny say the other day? Oh my god, she's such a slut. And, fucking being right, feeling good, and avoiding the truth at all costs. Jack Nicholson put it best. You can't handle the truth, because you can't. Because when you get the truth, which is people like me, who spit the truth right in your face, you can't handle it. So what do? You stop talking to people like me. You don't want people like me around, because I'm a buzzkill. Oh, but he's really fun at parties. As a matter of fact, I'm the life of every party I go to, motherfucker. And I drink and do keg stands and shit at parties because there's a time and place for everything. But when we're at my house kicking it, maybe I don't want to do keg stands, and maybe I don't want to fucking do stupid shit aside from the normal stupid shit that I do. I'm sorry I'm such a buzzkill. I'm sorry that fucking reality and truth is fucking too hard for people to handle, but you know what? The truth will always be the truth no matter how much you lie about it. And that's just the way it is, We've got 4 minutes left. This is Freedom of Speech, my talk show. I really hope you like this one because it's a little less offensive, I guess. It's more into in-depth thought. Or the other one, I only have like a few minutes in between songs to really talk about what I'm feeling or thinking. This one is the show where I talk these theories and ideas and beliefs. And so pretty much when I get in these little rambling moods, this is the one I'll be doing. And be sure to vote for me to be president one day because, I'll just remove all the fucking laws and then the world will be back where it needs to be. Because laws are only put into place by politicians who have more money than you. And that's the only reason laws exist. And police probably shoot people on command, because it helps enforce their laws through omnipresence. It's kind of like how they park empty cars on streets. That way you'll see the cop cars. And there won't be a cop inside of the car, but that's called omnipresence. That's they will remind you of their existence always. You're always thinking about them in the back of your fucking mind. It's the way it works. It's a psychological tactic. So, if I become president, I'll execute all congressmen and frickin' for treason. I'll hang them. And any politician that still remains will be dealt with, either, legally. Well, no, I guess not legally. They'll be dealt with by the people, kind of like Benito Mussolini style, where, they get fucking hooked up by a meat hook and gutted like they deserve. Motherfuckers living on oxygen tanks in Congress fucking lining their pockets with your cash and then saying that you're the thief. It's fucking bizarre, isn't it? Oh yeah, and by the way, oxygen is totally the reason they're so fucking old, because did you know if there's a 3% increase in oxygen, we would be immortal? Spiders would be giants. Insects would become fucking humongous. All insects would be fucking huge. 3% increase in oxygen. The shit can make you immortal. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that, did you? Anyways, this is Freedom of Speech. We'll be back in a few minutes. I hope you enjoyed. And for that one listener, I hope you caught this episode. Thank you, and you're the real MVP here, man. Thank you for listening. And anybody else, you can go fuck yourself. All right, later. We'll be back soon.